Hi YouTube, thanks for tuning in to this part 2 of my Swagboard modification. In this video I'll be rebuilding my longboard. Please see part 1 for the disassembly or click the card in the corner. First step was to remove this white rubber-like substance that is on the PCB solder points to prevent short-circuiting. I do not reapply this insulation later. Next I reflow the solder, removing the XT60 power lead and locking JST type charging lead. Then I measured the width of two 10-gauge wires, locked the caliper and scored the material where I want to remove the metal and marked the area to cut out. Then bagged the ESC, locked the cutting disc onto a rotary tool. Watch close and see the disc shrink in diameter as I cut a couple tabs into the housing here. I pop out the tabs that I cut and I clean it up a bit with another bit. A little more cutting to make a channel for the wiring and then a quick cleanup of my desk. I cut a pair of 10-gauge stranded wire, stripped off the ends, pre-tinned them along with an XT60 connector and solder them together for a solid bond, along with application of shrink wrap tubing. These unknown white and blue wires are cut, insulated and pushed out of the way. Next I soldered my own JST lead, then an XT60 connector on 10-gauge wire to the battery pack. This lead was changed to reduce the voltage drop. Here I'm soldering 14-gauge stranded wire onto a couple more XT60 connectors that get heat shrink tubing but are not pre-tinned, so they can be spliced in parallel then soldered together with more heat shrink that was added a couple steps back. You've already seen the steps of the next task, so I will fast forward. As before, XT60 connectors are soldered onto stranded 14-gauge. This wire will connect the external battery to the ESC. A few extra pieces of insulating heat shrink tubing are added. Heat shrink tubing was added to the GST charging port. The pack was placed into the original shrink wrap, then a single layer of duct tape applied over top of that. 27.6 volts. Multimeter on the left shows the voltage. Motor draws 1 amp on cruise control with no load. Seems legit. Plug everything together, red to red, blue to blue, yellow to yellow, green 420. You get the idea. Tuck the wires, radio, and fasten the plastic to the housing, then onto the board. Here I stop to give everything another test. Everything seems good too, except it's on the wrong board. These are a couple organizer baskets from Looney Trees. There is 2. They are blue and seem to be a decent size, so I bought them. I cut this foam to fill the air gap. I fixed it together with a bit of crazy glue. The pack slid right in. Next I marked and started cutting the baskets. Looking good. Couple more cuts and on to the next one. Trimmed it down to an appropriate size, and that's it. The cases are there to add impact resistance. An old bag strap is used to mount the battery pack. The plastic hardware is cut off and discarded. None of the adhesives on hand would bond to this plastic. Even the tape did not stick well. So I got some real duct tape and wrapped the pack twice. Now it has multiple layers of water and impact resistance. This strap is cut to length and the ends are melted to prevent fraying. An awl is used to spread the web or weave to make a screw hole. LOL. Stretch to length, cut, and the end is again put under fire. Second strap is cut identical to the first. Foam is applied to the board side of the battery pack, which is then connected to the board. Next, the straps are pressed onto the screws, followed by the rubber piece, and finally the truck. A quick grip holds the truck down till the nuts are tightened. And that's pretty much all, folks. A quick paint job, charge up, and the board is ready to go. Thanks for watching.